Hey there and welcome. My name is Tina. This is the Alignment Keys. And in today's video, I wanted to jump on and briefly talk about what's going on and pull a few cards going into this wonderful Memorial weekend we have going on here. Energy's been a little up and down, so I hope everybody is doing okay out there. There's a lot of struggle. There's a lot of good and bad things going on. Right now, I'll be traveling to Michigan to celebrate my nephew's graduation from high school. And we have all these wonderful endings in that capacity. And yet in the US here, we had another huge tragedy in Texas with a school shooting that ended the lives of quite a few young, innocent children. So it's weighing heavy on our hearts and minds. So we want to send out love, anchoring our light right now, which is very important. And I wanted to get on because the messages that I was getting is to make sure that it's okay for issues to come up right now during this time as we see what's going on in the collective with all of this dark energy playing out. I talk about that quite frequently. I believe we're in an ascension process, and when the frequencies and the rays in the collective, you'll see a lot of dark energy playing out. I mean, this is nothing new. This has gone on for centuries as we always raise up, but things are getting better. And I want to come on and make it very clear that it's okay to take a stand. However, what my guides are saying to me is to be mindful of taking sides and creating more separateness, because the more separateness we create, the more these patterns continue to play out. So as I always say, love is what heals these types of situations. But also what we can do in a collective way is to come together and have the proper discussions, respecting everybody's opinion, but then expecting our lawmakers, the people that we elected to represent us, to do what's best for the good of all. And so the best thing that we can do is send them love. We are powerful creators in our own right. And it's very important for us to send love to everyone involved, anchoring the light, not creating more hatred for certain senators or people who don't want to see change because they're hanging on so desperately to the way things were, instead of moving us forward and doing what's best for all of us to bring us to the next level. And so that's okay. We just have to, what we can do, like I said, as powerful creators is to do our meditations, focus the light. It has been shown in studies that the more that we can focus our light and shine it in a way with the intent of doing what's right for the highest will and good, we can affect real positive change. So that's what my guides wanted me to come forward today and talk about. I am going to pull a few cards here. So I want to keep these a little short and sweet. So I'm going to pull an initial card here to find out which angel is supporting us right now. What is the angel from Keepers of the Light deck by Kyle Gray here? Which angel is supporting the energy right now for us? And so here we go. We have Commander Ashtar. Call to action. Take charge, lead by example, and walk your talk. This is the time to speak up, like I said, with love and compassion and empathy, and it would be a good time to let all of our senators know how we feel about what is going on and what actions we expect them to take. And so, like I said, it's very important for us to take a stand. However, to be very conscious in mindfulness in the way that we operate to make sure that we aren't creating more separateness, that we're doing it from a place of love and understanding and listening, whether we're hearing what we want to hear from the other side. Like I said, taking sides, we don't want to do that. So we just want to be able to hear each other, to give each other an opportunity to speak. And that is how real change happens. So that's, I think, a wonderful energy. The blue represents the throat chakra here. So it's very important, again, for us to speak our truth and take a stand on, and not sit in the background. Just because we're light workers, it doesn't mean that we can't take a stand on issues. So the next thing, I'm being drawn to this deck here. So let me pull these cards real quick and see what else we're getting. For this weekend. So my guides, please guide the cards to that was not the one. So, okay, let's pull 3 oracle or 3 tarot cards, please. Also, for each card that we pulled. One more. See what we get here. Okay. So it looks like we're going this way because I'm drawn to this side and we're moving over. So what we have here is, for those of you that are asking about certain things, I'm getting an actual note on number 6. So it's about going deeper on this issue. And so here is the Page of Swords on this card as well. So being very mindful, Spirit is saying, you know, cutting through the nonsense, cutting through the rhetoric, which will be going on. There will be a lot of discussions about that. You're going to hear it in the media, in the news. And so what this is telling me is to really be careful about what you're absorbing. And is it for you? What is it doing to you, your mind, to how you are feeling? So it's very important for us to stay connected to source and not also feed into the drama. And like I said, the taking sides and causing more separateness. This is an opportunity right now, whether it's celebrating a graduation or, again, grieving the loss. Again, we have this young page here. So sometimes the young page doesn't have that emotional maturity. They're still learning their words and how to approach things. And so it tells me, you know, that we have a lot of young, emotionally young. So it doesn't mean young in years on this planet. It means emotional youth. And so here, you know, there's going to be, you know, messages coming through that are going to be not for you. So be very mindful of what you're hearing and what action you're being prompted to take, and making sure that it is in the highest and best good for everyone involved. And so the next one I'm being drawn to is this, the world upside down. We know that many people, the world has fallen, you know, has crumbled for them. You know, they're in turmoil. And so this is an opportunity to take a look at this. And the River Queen here is the other card that came out. And this is about flow, letting go, and natural movement. The card is a 36, which adds up to 9, which is endings. And so what I'm getting with this is this going to be an ending of these types of, is there something we can do to create movement here, flowing movement to letting go of these negative ways of effecting change that is going to make people feel safer, putting rules in places to so that these young people can't get their hands on guns. You know, what's going on here? And so what I'm getting here is, again, she's in all this watery emotion here, and she's just been thrown upside down again, because here it's happened again. It happens in the US is pretty getting to be pretty normal. But is this the kind of world we want? What do we want for the world? And of course, this represents the end of a possible end of a cycle. But again, that is definitely up to us. And the other thing they want to say is, are we ready to let go of some of these ideologies that we've been hanging on to that are keeping us in this state of getting flipped upside down like this? And so then the last two cards I have here, which is the Child, Divine. And we all have the inner child here. And so it's all about the light attributes of the divine child are innocence, purity, redemption, suggests a special connection with the divine when you're in touch with your inner child. And then the shadow attribute is an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. And so that is the shadow side, feeling that we need these guns and things to protect us because we can't defend ourselves against these types of forces. And we can. And we can do it through our light work, through love, through compassion and empathy. And so we have here the Six of Pentacles upside down. And so this is, unfortunately, a lot of the decisions that are being made are tied to this money here, these pentacles, this money. It's not about, you know, when I see this in reverse, you know, normally if it was upright, you know, it would be kind of sharing and, you know, giving some here and giving some there based on, you know, what this guy feels he should get or he should get. When we turn it completely upside down, you know, this is kind of more of a corrupt, you know, whose decisions being based on the monetary value. So again, we want to be very cognizant about who we're putting in power, that is, and who's giving the money to them to keep us, you know, feeling like we have to continue to have these types of guns for protection, that there's no like gray area where we can't have some rules for gun control, that it's all or nothing here, that it is this black and white. And so again, it's about taking a stand. And I believe that there was in the UK, I believe in 1994, they had a school shooting and they enacted some legislation immediately after that. They have not had a school shooting since. So again, it's about doing what's best for the collective good, about making people feel that safe, and that this goes beyond how many guns you have, it's not about that. It's what you're manifesting. And it's very important for us to protect our inner child and to play and have fun and this attachment to the idea that, again, that we have to arm our teachers, and it's so far into the shadow side of, again, the inability to defend oneself against negative forces. So again, it's changing these beliefs that a civilized, spiritual, grounded, trusting in the flow and allowing our light to shine, taking care of all of our children and our inner childs, so that we don't allow this kind of fear-based, because that's what it is. This is all about, it's tied to the money apart. They don't want to let go of the money aspect of the profits of what they're getting off of all of this, selling these guns and things like that. So again, it's tied. They're trying to keep these beliefs alive, based on that type of a system. So overall, the energy, like I said, is we're in kind of this, flipped upside, our world has been flipped upside down again. And, we've got a lot going on. We just had that solar eclipse, and now we have this, these killings, amongst all of this other wonderful things going on. So it's really important for us to take a stand, but still manage joy and happiness in our life, doing our meditations, focusing our light, being very mindful of our thoughts, because our thoughts affect our emotions, and our emotions are what creates our manifestations. And it takes time to manifest. But again, I think that they had done a study. I was listening to Wayne Dyer on one of his podcasts. He's deceased now, but he was a great father of motivation, very spiritual. And he talked about how many thousands of thoughts we have a day. And so, making sure that because when I talk about alignment on this channel, one of the keys to alignment is finding the gap in between the thoughts, because that's partly where alignment occurs. It raises your vibration. And so if you're continually have a busy mind, and in my soul contract, I have my numbers and my karma drive me, to have a busy mind. So I have to be very mindful about grounding myself, being that witness when I'm having a lot of clusters of thoughts going on. And especially if it's negative. I was struggling at work this week, and setting boundaries and having a lot of negativity going on. And so that, again, it's up to us then to recognize it and pull back. And so I did some extra meditations, again, because like Wayne Dyer was saying, when we can reduce the amount of thoughts, we're not creating more of these clusters, this negativity out there. We're actually, again, we're powerful creators, and we can do our part in this, in taking a stand, speaking our truth, doing it with love, with respect, but also continuing to do our own inner work, because peace our outer world is a reflection of what's going on the inside in a collective way. So the more we can help each other do our inner work, start to resolve the conflicts that we have inside, and that's going to manifest on the outside. So that's what I really wanted to end with, is making sure we're following our spiritual practices, making sure we're grounding our light, and that we are still standing up for the good of all and speaking our truth, because that's very important too. So thank you for being here. Thank you for jumping on. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and you get a chance to do something with family and do something that is uplifting. So thank you again for being here. I'm sending you much love. Goodbye for now.